So on the restart, it's Busch's Dodge, McMurray's Chevrolet, Kenseth's Ford, and Rudemann's Toyota. Your front four, then Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Clint Bowyer, Tony Stewart, and Jeff Burton are the top 10. 87 laps to go.
Boy, these old motors are they've been working hard here for most of the evening, and then going up through the gears. That's a big fear I always had, missing a shift or over revving the engine. After these things have been run as hard as they have, got to take care of them.
Coming up here on green flag pit stops.
It's a scheduled stop, but Steve, what are they going to do to the 17?
Well, Jeff, his biggest problem is he's starting to run hot. He also wants the brake duct opening cleaned off. They also got a tear off. Jeff, he also said that he's loose on the gas, so they took some air out of the right rear tire, 4 tires.
And Kurt Busch, who again for the 4th time in his career has led more than 200 laps. He's won 2 previous races right behind Jamie McMurray. And let's look at this final pit stop. At least without a caution here, could decide the race. The latest on that, Matt.
And Harvick once again climbed to just outside the top 10 and then hit pit road. Chassis adjustment complete for Harvick, Dick.
Jamie McMurray coming in. And Dick Berggren has the lead.
Your leader pitting right now with a 4-tire change. This car has been virtually perfect toward the end of the night. Krista.
Kurt Busch has been tight in, loose off, the same condition he's had all race. He said, I need the right front to dig. Steve Addington is going to give him that with wedge. Matt.
Stopping a little deep in his box is Kyle Busch in the 18 chassis adjustment. He says the car is just tight, and he gives up too much time at the front end of the run, and he is away.
And David Rudeman is in the pits right now. Whoa, he really had to make a sharp turn to get the car in the pit area. He is legally parked. Steve.
Dick, Clint Bowyer says he's a little bit too free. Track bar adjustment for Bowyer and 4 tires. Last pit stop potentially for Bowyer.
Jeff Gordon, Joey Logano in. Martin Truex making his stop. Ryan Newman. Bowyer is away. Biffle is in. Mark Martin completes his stop, and here's Tony Stewart coming down the pit road. Stewart was the leader. He gives up the lead to David Reagan to make what could be his last stop of the night. Steve.
Mike Joy, it's taken all night, but Tony Stewart says the back of the race car is finally in the track. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment and 4 tires for Tony Stewart.
The only cars that have not stopped are David Reagan, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Denny Hamlin. Of those cars that are on the lead lap.
David Rudeman had a terrible time getting in his pit box. The 99 car, Carl Edwards, was coming out as Rudeman was coming in. They almost collided. That cost David a lot of time.
Reagan will surrender the lead, and that means that Dale Earnhardt Jr. will lead this race for the first time tonight.
Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. can go about another 6 laps because he pitted on that last caution. But how about David Reagan, Dick?
Larry, he's had a really good night. David Reagan has kept the car off the wall. He's run a smart race tonight, and he's got a shot for a real good finish out of this thing.
So Earnhardt and Denny Hamlin, who last stopped at lap 310, 46 laps ago, lead this race.
Now, Denny Hamlin's going to come to pit road. The problem staying out there is you're banking on a caution, but you're giving up about a second a lap to those fresh tires.
Earnhardt continues to circulate as Hamlin, who had his problems when Jimmy Johnson spun and Denny had to go to the grass to miss him. They've recovered from that. You see the tape on the nose, and he heads for his pit box and Matt.
And Mike, pretty much from that juncture, he has been tight for the rest of the race. They've tried to free him up every stop. Another significant wedge adjustment on this stop for the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
And then there was one. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the only driver who has not made this green flag pit stop. You see Casey Kane trying to get by.
It's lap 358. He can go to about 362 to 364 on fuel. But you see fresh tires on the bottom on Casey Kane, the 9 car, how he'll just drive by.
Jamie McMurray pulling down on Casey Mears and trying to rebound. Now McMurray's the 2nd place car, but he is 14 seconds behind Dale Jr.
Yeah, but he's driving away from his closest adversary, I think, which is Kurt Busch in the 2. McMurray is driving off and leaving him.
All right, there's 1 second between second and third. About 15 seconds between Earnhardt Jr. and McMurray. Let's show you the distance. Jr. comes off turn number 4. And it's about half a lap back to Jamie Mack.
But he just ran a 31.66. The lap before that, Kurt Busch back there in third ran a 30.71.
Here's McMurray, the orange car. And about a second behind him comes Kurt Busch. And you're right, at this moment, McMurray is quicker with 40 laps to go.
But Dale Jr.'s got nothing to lose. I mean, he might as well sit there and play this hand all the way out to the very end.
He almost did right there.
Well, he can lose his race car now.
As long as he doesn't become the cause.
That's right. That was pretty ugly.
Scott Speed just made a pit stop, too fast entering. Bill Elliott makes what could be his last stop of the night. Dale Jr. is running 31.60s, McMurray 31 flat.
Yeah, he's given up a lot of time, and like I said, though, he doesn't have anything to lose. He might as well stay here until he has to absolutely out of fuel. Who knows? Might get that caution.
On the last pit stop, watch Tony Stewart coming out. Watch the crewman right there get bumped by the rear spoiler of Stewart's car, sends one of Greg Biffle's crew to the ground.
Wow.
And here's Steve.
And Mike, the injured crewman was Kevin McDowell, the rear tire carrier. He was just put onto a golf cart of sorts and taken to the infield care center. He was in good spirits. He was smiling, but he was limping. But again, shaking hands with the other guys on the team. Kevin McDowell, the rear tire carrier, headed to the infield care center.
Thanks, Steve. And now, failing to get a caution, comes in for what could be his final stop of the night with 35 laps to go. And here's Krista.
Dale Jr.'s crew is trying to redeem themselves and give their driver what he needs. Back on lap 300, they had a bad stop. They were going for 4. They dropped the jack after 2. They said, "We are sorry, Jr. We screwed you on that one." This time, 4 tires as they work around to give Dale Jr. back on the racetrack. 4 tires for Jr.
Pretty good stop there, guys.
He
That was a good stop.
He will stay on the lead lap, it appears, but will likely drop down out of the top 20.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get back up to speed or not, because there goes McMurray in that one car,
there's
and
no
there
way.
he is on the apron. So.
There's no way you can make a stop there and not lose that lap.
A caution flag, though, would put him right back in play. We have 33 laps to go in the Coke 600.